What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Pick and Roll Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 1 of the NBA. I'm your co-host, Jonathan Fridline.
And I'm Alan J. Apandian. And in this episode, we're going to talk about free agency, all the decisions that have been made, all the trades that have been made, the draft, all the prospects, the promising prospects that are going to play this season. And we're going to also talk about what we think of the new super teams that have formed.
Super teams. And we're going to define the term super teams. Because I feel like that's a term that's thrown around a lot.
Indeed.
And not a lot of people actually know what it means.
Indeed.
So we're going to clear the air.
All right, so...
Can I ask you first?
Yeah,
we're doing the questions first, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
we gotta
come on now.
try.
If you don't know the drill by now, then leave.
No, please don't leave.
Wait, actually, don't leave.
Don't listen to this.
Okay. In the National Basketball Association, there have been 4 recorded quadruple doubles. I am tasking you to name 2 players that have recorded a quadruple double.
Wilt Chamberlain and
Wilt Chamberlain. Sorry.
And David Robinson.
Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, here's the thing about Wilt Chamberlain. I guarantee you he did.
But he's not recorded.
But it's not recorded because
Sure.
a lot of you don't know this. I mean, maybe you do. Blocks were not a recorded stat until like the mid-1970s. And Wilt played his prime in the 60s and early 70s. So actually, I guarantee you that he's recorded. But there's not an official recorded quadruple double.
So that one doesn't count. Is David Robinson one of those?
David Robinson is one. I'll give you a hint. The other player that everyone knows of is a big man in the same era of David Robinson.
Okay. Let's see. Probably not Hakeem. I don't know. It might be Hakeem. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say Hakeem.
That is correct.
Yes,
He got it right. David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon have both recorded one quadruple double in their careers. The 2 other players that have is Nate Thurmond and Alvin Robertson. I wasn't expecting you to get either of those, but I'm sure you've heard of both of those players.
I have.
2 very good, very underappreciated Hall of Famers right there.
Dude,
and then there's Hakeem and David.
My player average is a quadruple double.
No one cares.
Okay.
Yeah, no one cares. All right.
Let
me hear you mine.
Let
me hear yours from me.
Okay. My question is, which NBA player in all time, all history, all of NBA history,
All of it.
has dude,
Carry on. Carry on. I just spilled some water. It's no big deal.
That's my
No. It'll come out. It's just water. Carry on.
All right. Which NBA player has the the most personal fouls ever recorded?
That's the dumbest question. It's actually not dumb. That's a good question. I'm saying it's dumb because I can't think of it right now. Personal fouls? Personal fouls.
Do you want a hint?
Yes.
He is one of the greatest players of all time. And let's say he's also one of the greatest centers of all time.
I knew he was a big man because it's not usually a guard. My mind immediately went to Rasheed Wallace, but I don't know. He constitutes one of the greatest big men of all time. Why'd you look like that? It's not Rasheed Wallace. No, stop looking at the people like that. It's not Rasheed Wallace.
That's what you did, and I got it right. I'm not saying it's right, though.
Great. Is it most personal foul? Is it Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Final answer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That is correct.
Yo, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I had a streak going. Incorrect answers. That makes me feel good.
I think I did too.
Weights lifted.
Indeed. All right.
Okay. That makes me feel good.
All right. Now we're gonna segue to NBA free agency. All right. You got a list?
I currently have a list going on of signings and trades that have been going on. I'm just going to kind of go down the list, and if I see a notable one, we talk about it. That is the point of this podcast, right? Talking about the NBA.
Indeed.
So, to be completely honest with you, this 2021 offseason hasn't been one for the ages. I mean, stuff has definitely happened. Like, there's only been big ones, just not a lot of big ones.
Yeah.
Like, the Cavaliers getting Lowry Markkanen, and the Bulls getting Derrick Jones Jr. Oh, this was a three-way trade. Because Derrick Jones Jr. was on the Blazers, and my beloved Larry Nance Jr. is leaving. Very sad.
Okay, I want to talk about this because the Cavaliers might be the dumbest organization in basketball right now. Like, we have 4 max contract big men for no reason at all. And it's like
name the 4.
And I think it's 3. I don't know. It's Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Lowry Markkanen. Who's our backup center?
I have no idea.
I guess it's 3. 3 max.
I couldn't tell you.
3 max big men, and like none of them. Everyone, only Jared Allen is a good defender out of all of them, and he is the one player I wouldn't trade on the Cavs roster. Everybody else is tradable right now, and Kevin Love, he just doesn't play basketball anymore. He's just, I don't know. He's out for 5 months with like sore hamstrings or something.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's frustrating as a Cavs fan to see our ownership and our managerialism. Our managers just like ruin our future, ruin this. I don't know. I don't want to say ruin the franchise, just like make dumb decisions. So, but good pickup for the Blazers for Larry Nance, and then Derrick Jones Jr. is like, okay, he can dunk really well.
He can jump high. Here's sorry. No, continue.
Imagine this: a lineup of Lonzo Ball at point guard for the Bulls, Zach LaVine, Demar Derozan, and Derrick Jones Jr. and like random like Patrick Williams. Imagine like Lob City. The amount of lobs that Lonzo could throw.
Lonzo loves throwing lobs.
That's actually kind of.
And then you got Alex Caruso off the bench.
And oh my gosh, that's
like
actually,
the Alex Caruso LeBron James chemistry, like the lobs there.
Yeah, that could be potentially fun to watch.
This is true.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to the Bulls yet. All right, continue.
I was literally, the next one was DeMar DeRozan was it traded or?
I think it's sign and trade, right?
Yes. So DeMar DeRozan is on the Bulls, and the Spurs just got some picks, and Al-Farouq Amino and Thaddeus Young.
Interesting.
So DeMar DeRozan, the new era in Chicago, definitely, with that pair of him and Zach LaVine.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. I wish DeMar just like was a good 3-point shooter, because then it'd be like really, really deadly. But exactly, a lot of people don't think it's gonna work just because of DeMar's lack of shooting. But like, think about it. They got Lonzo, who's like he's a pretty good shooter now after his offseason work. Zach LaVine is obviously a really good shooter.
Yeah.
You got Patrick Williams, who's an improving shooter, and then you got Nikola Vucevic, who's literally
that's the center you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets Nikola Vucevic is on the Bulls.
He's like the top 3. I don't know if he's the best, but like he's still a really all-star caliber player. And he can shoot really well too. So DeMar's gonna have free range to slash and to shoot all his mid-range shots. So I'm excited for that team for real.
I agree. I definitely agree. And then you got my boy AC Fresh coming off the bench, Alex Caruso. I love that guy.
Yeah. I just want to see him have success. I obviously want a championship, but I want to see him average over 10 points a game.
That's what I'm saying. What else we got here? The one. So Patrick Beverley and Rajon Rondo are no longer on the Lakers.
Well, Patrick.
No, I mean Clippers. I meant Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, Rondo's back to the Lakers, right?
Yeah, Rondo. Yeah, so Pat Bev has just been tossed around. So they traded him. They traded them from the Clippers to the Grizzlies, and now the Clippers have Eric Bledsoe. That could be a nice pickup.
It could be, potentially.
We'll see how that plays out. And now the Grizzlies no longer have Pat Bev. They sent him to the Timberwolves.
Nice.
And they sent Rajon Rondo to the Lakers. So I'm not so sure.
No, I think Rondo just signed with the Lakers.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, I mean, I feel the name Rajon Rondo gets tossed around a lot, like it has a lot of gravity, but it's obviously he's a really good point guard. He's a good floor general. He's a good passer, but I don't think he has the same impact that he did like 2 years ago in the bubble. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for the Lakers team, but we'll talk about that later. It's the super team section.
So, what else do we got here? Next up, here is one of the bigger ones. Kyle Lowry to the Miami Heat. That team might be nasty.
What do you think about that? Yeah.
Pairing up with Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Bam, and Tyler Hero. Definitely a playoff team, like without a doubt. But they just happen to be in an incredibly competitive Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah.
With the Milwaukee Bucks,
Brooklyn
Nets, and Philadelphia 76ers. So, unfortunately, good team. They might be able to do some damage, but I see them getting bounced in the second round.
Yeah, I think they could maybe beat the Bucks. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't see.
I think the Miami Heat's best chance of winning the title would have been 2020 when they got to the bubble. I got to the finals in the bubble. I mean.
Yeah, but that's a great pickup for them. It's like
it definitely is.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is like he's overhated. I feel like, but he's still he's a quality player, who can shoot, who can pass, who plays pretty good defense. So good pickup for them.
And then, back to the Cavaliers. Ricky Rubio to the Cavaliers in exchange for Teron Prince, cash considerations, and a second-round pick.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing really is gonna happen there. I've actually always been but I heard that I actually got excited because I remember really liking Ricky Rubio and Kevin Love on the Timberwolves. Wait, they're being reunited.
That's funny.
I never really connected those dots until right now. Obviously, they're both really past their primes.
Ricky Rubio was hooping in the Olympics actually.
Yeah.
So
he found out. The trade happened in the middle of an Olympic game.
Yeah.
I think against Team USA too. That was funny because I remember looking down at my phone and just seeing it on Bleacher Report as I was watching the game with like my brother and my dad. And I was like, that guy's on our team now. Not like I said, not really too much except for one more big one. Alan, what is it?
Russell Westbrook to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, that's indeed.
This is a
scary hours.
Great segue to our conversation of super teams.
Well, hang on. Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Hang on.
I want to read off the trade if I can find it.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook and the Wizards got KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, Spencer Dinwiddie, Aaron Holiday, and Isaiah Todd.
I think they got Dinwiddie just in free agency from
the Nets.
From the Nets, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team trade.
That's not a bad squad for them.
What?
It's like the Wizards. I think it's good enough to make the 8 seed, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. You still got Bradley Beal. So pairing up with Kyle Kuzma and KCP, and then Montrezl Harrell, which is he's a good big man, like a respectable big man. Yeah. All right. Scary hours. That and the Brooklyn Nets. And we didn't go over like the signings, but like Kevin Durant signed a max extension, Trae Young signed a max extension.
Luka signed one.
Luka did. Kawhi Leonard signed back with the Clippers. James Harden back with the Nets.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of any other ones. Did I say Trae Young?
Yeah.
I said Trae Young. Okay. That was really it. Just people signing max extensions everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, yes. Perfect segue. Almost a planned segue to our super teams discussion. And how I want to kick off this discussion is us defining the term super team. Let's define the term. Can I give you my definition? A super team is made up of 3 or more all-stars joining together on a team where not all of them were drafted from that team. Let me give you a very popular example. The Miami Heat in the early 2010s. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh and LeBron James were not drafted by the Miami Heat, but Dwayne Wade was, but they all paired up in their primes, the 3 of them. That is a super team, in my eyes. What do you think?
I think it's pretty accurate. I think my definition aligns with yours, where it's like think about the 2016 Golden State Warriors that won 73 games. I don't think that's a super team.
Exactly. That's just a really good basketball team. It's funny because everyone's like, how can the team with the best record of all time not be a super team, you know?
And they drafted really well.
Exactly. Like, I remember respecting the 2015 and 2016 Warriors, even though, well, they beat the Cavs in 2015. The Cavs beat them in 2016. But I remember respecting them because they drafted super well, invented a system that fit those players super well, and, like, cultivated their talents.
Indeed.
Like, Draymond Green, I feel like if Draymond Green was drafted literally anywhere else, I don't see him making a single All-Star team.
I agree.
Klay Thompson probably might have. But, like, this Steve Kerr system with just infinite three-pointers and get back on defense.
Even it's not just, like, obviously a Steph Curry. And, like, when you think of the Warriors, you think of threes because of Steph Curry. But their offense, like, was, like, super balanced. Like,
Exactly.
They had really good. They attacked the rim a lot. They got kickouts. It was a really balanced offense, which, like, obviously complemented Steph Curry's style of play.
And Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and Klay Thompson.
And Draymond Green being super unselfish and super smart.
Yeah.
He was the perfect fit for that team.
That team also was really good defensively.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then things changed in the 2016 offseason. When they picked up a guy named Kevin Durant. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him.
He's pretty good at basketball. That made them a super team.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree.
Because they picked him up from free agency or traded. Like, he's like a team that, like, okay, let's talk about the Nets. A team that signs Kevin Durant, signs Kyrie Irving, trades for James Harden, trades or signs Blake Griffin. Like, I don't know if you consider Blake Griffin a star, but he's a quality role player.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's like the
definition of a
pure super team.
And then let me ask you this: the Lakers right now, is that a super team?
I think it is, but it's like it's not the same level as the Nets because obviously
the Nets, I feel like it all happened at once.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The Lakers, they've always had AD and LeBron, which was a really good duo, and now they added Westbrook. And the thing is that Westbrook and LeBron aren't in their primes anymore. But they're both still really good. They're both still really good. They're just not in their primes anymore. So that's why it lessens them a little bit more than, like, the Nets super team. So
I agree. So then, like, I heard something interesting the other day. What was it? It was the Kobe and Shaq three-peat Lakers. Is that a super team? Because they really just had Kobe and Shaq, and then, like, Robert Ory.
Yeah.
And
Fox. I think it was more of a really good duo.
Exactly.
A really good duo with a really solid supporting cast because they had, like, Rick Fox and, like, obviously Robert Ory, all those guys. Everybody contributed, and so I think it was more of, like, a really, really good duo with a really good supporting cast.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was a super
team.
team.
Because by what my definition was, I feel like you can't really have a super team with a duo.
Yeah.
And the Lakers drafted Kobe Bryant. Obviously, they signed the most dominant player in the league at the time in Shaq.
Yeah.
And they just played super well together. Super well together.
Do you think the 95-96 Chicago Bulls is a super team?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I want to say no. Because Michael Jordan drafted. Scottie Pippen drafted. They lost Horace Grant. Like, Horace Grant wasn't even on the team at the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, gosh, that's tough because how can you call a team that had two separate three-peats not a super team, you know? What do you think?
And I was also thinking, like, Dennis Rodman, like, what is his actual, like, what, like, obviously he's an incredible rebounder, great defender, but, like, is that enough to make that entire team a super team? I don't know the question. I don't know the answer either.
Exactly. So like, this is such a touchy topic.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you if, like, the 90s Bulls, is that a super team, you know?
Yeah.
Or is that just a real basketball team? That's a good question.
I'm leaning towards a really good basketball team.
That's what I'm saying, too.
If I had to put in percentages, I'm saying 65% good basketball team, 35% super team.
Yeah. I respect it.
Yeah.
So this is a question that's always tossed around during this topic. Who was the first super team in NBA history? The first one.
Was it? Is that you're asking me as a question?
I'm asking you as a question because I don't. I have a team in mind, kind of.
I was thinking, I don't want to say like the Bill Russell Celtics. Because like they drafted most of the players and they traded for Bill Russell from like the Hawks or something. But like I don't know. I mean, there's like the '80s Celtics and Lakers where the Lakers picked up Kareem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking of the Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain Lakers.
I just thought of that.
Yeah. I feel like that could be the first ever super team.
Mm-hmm.
And since we've dumbed it down so much, there isn't really a whole lot of true super teams.
Yeah.
True super teams are like that Lakers team, the 2008 Boston Celtics.
Yeah, you got the Heat, obviously.
The Heat and Warriors, and now the Lakers. Nets. And like, you can never call any of those Spurs teams super teams, right?
Would you? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. What were you saying?
Which teams? Which teams were you talking about?
I was saying the history of the super team.
I know,
what do you
like
mean?
the first teams. What are you talking about? Like
the very first super team?
Yeah.
I was thinking I think it was 1970 Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Okay. I mean, obviously getting Wilt Chamberlain is like massive, but
Hang on. I'm gonna try this again. I don't know why I cut the top off of this. Not dripped. All right, continue.
I don't. Obviously, Wilt Chamberlain is Wilt Chamberlain, but they also drafted. I think did they draft Jerry West and James Worthy?
No, James Worthy. You're talking about Elgin Baylor.
Oh, yes.
James Worthy was on the 80s Celtics teams.
Elgin Baylor. My bad.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did draft those guys. So it's so hard to define.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard. I feel like the era of super teams has definitely come into play in the modern NBA.
Do you think the 2015-2016 Cavs was a super team?
Ooh. This is a solid question.
Because technically you got LeBron from free agency.
And kind of still pretty good Kevin Love.
Yeah, you got, from trading for him.
And then you drafted Kyrie Irving. Ooh.
You also signed, J.R. Smith was like J.R.
Yeah,
Smith.
and Amon Shumpert. Let me hear what you have to say about this.
I think it is a super team. It's not it's like when you think of super teams, you think of like the 2017 Warriors.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like a lesser super team.
Yes.
But it is a super team. I
think you're right.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I think a lot of people like try to use that to diminish like LeBron's legacy.
Exactly.
But I don't. It's hard to say because like championships are different. Coming back from down against like one of the greatest teams of all time, coming back down 3-1, that's an achievement in itself. And like I don't know. I think that's a emphasis point when they try to get LeBron, try to diminish LeBron. But I think it's just like, okay. I mean, he won the championship, so.
I think you're right. Winning a championship is a very, very difficult task, no matter who's on your team, because you got to be durable, got to have perseverance.
Yeah.
Very tough to do.
All right, so yeah.
Wow, what a healthy discussion. What a very healthy discussion.
Before we end, who's winning Rookie of the Year?
Oh. Do you know who I honestly think is gonna be?
Let me guess. Jalen Green.
Wait, how'd you know that? How'd you know?
I'm just guessing.
I was going to say Jalen Green on the Houston Rockets. How did you know that?
I don't know. I just knew. You look like a Jalen Green fan.
I'm not even. It's not even that I'm a fan, dude. What he wears is so ugly. Have you ever seen him wearing any sort of clothes that isn't an NBA uniform?
His hair is really cool. I like his hair a lot. Like
it's so big.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like it a lot. But.
Oh my gosh, dude, his fits. Oh my goodness, Jalen Green, if you're watching. Wait, I just kind of. Jalen Green, if you're watching. I don't know what I want to say, Jalen Green. Never mind.
Play well. The Houston Rockets are my second favorite team, so hopefully they win a lot.
Yeah, he definitely has like the keys to the team, pretty much.
Yeah. I got Cade winning Rookie of the Year.
Do you?
Yeah.
On the Pistons.
I think it's gonna be like as close as like Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. It's gonna be really that close.
It's gonna be that close.
Because like both are like really unique.
Wasn't it? It was decent. Was it close last year? with between.
Yeah,
Anthony
I
Edwards
think it was pretty close. I mean,
and
I think
LaMelo.
majority. Obviously, LaMelo won. I think majority was with LaMelo.
And then who was the other one?
John Zion, which is
No. I'm saying who was the top 3 for last year? LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah. John Zion. That was a pretty good race. It was just tough because Zion was injured a long time while Ja
Yeah.
wasn't.
And then the year before that, I don't remember. So.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I think that just about does it.
Mhm.
Season 2, Episode 1 of the NBA is now officially in the books.
Yeah.
You know what, Alan? I want you to shout at the gram.
Make sure to follow at the Pick and Roll Podcast _
Do it. Do
man.
it.
It's gonna. If you don't do it, you're gonna follow somebody else, and you're not gonna like it.
And you're just not
promise.
going to like it.
I
That's
promise.
a personal guarantee.
I
You will
promise.
regret following anyone else.
Without the _ All right, that's a wrap.